we'll be starting with the installation of the Oracle GoldenGate software for Oracle database. So for this, we need to have we have to download the Oracle GoldenGate software. I think we have gone through this process of downloading the software, identifying the correct version and downloading the software. We have gone through it. Now we have two machines are there. Say for example, 10.17.57.26 is, say, it is our source, and that called 34 it will be our target. Okay, and what we have done is that we have our database software is installed on this particular location. Say I'm at Oracle. Let me log in as Oracle user. Okay, switch to Oracle. Okay, cat/etc/oratam. You can see that there is a database called source is available there, and it is installed on /vaishit/db_home_1. So before we starting or before we proceeding with the installation of the GoldenGate, we need to have we need to have the required RDBM software available there. Say we are going to do it for the Oracle software, GoldenGate for Oracle, which means that we need to have Oracle RDBM software available there, because there are two variables, that is LD library path. When you're setting, if you're not setting the LD library path, we'll be getting an error message by GoldenGate that it is not able to access the library path. So before that, let's install the GoldenGate first. The installation of the GoldenGate is pretty simple, where which we just download the software and we unzip the software. So we have the software on /vaishit folder, and you can see that Oracle GoldenGate 11.2.1, which is the version that we are going to install. So we'll unzip the software first and then we'll uninstall it.
Hi everyone.
Okay. Okay. Now I'll create a directory called gg_home. Okay, and I'll copy this file, this tar file. You can see that there is one tar file has been created. This tar file I'll copy to the gg_home. cd gg_home. -xvf. So once you are entering, all the files will be created on this directory. Fine. Any questions as of now? Okay. Now you can. I told you, like, there are different executables are there which will be starting which will helping us to manage Oracle. One of the tool is the GoldenGate command line interface, that is GGSCI, and another tool is that the extract tool. You can see that extract executable, and you can see that replicate as well. So all these executables are located here. So what we are planning to do is that we are the next step is that we have to say for a GoldenGate to be working, there are certain directory structures there. For example, for GoldenGate extract process to be working, there are certain configuration files are there. These configuration files are normally located on the DER PRM directory. And the same way, GoldenGate do periodic checkpoints are the periodic checkpoints. For that, checkpoint files will be created on a folder called the DER-CHE. So like that, there is a definite directory structure which GoldenGate is following. This directory structure has to be created. So the steps wise, if you are looking, the step is at first, after completion of the downloading and unzipping of the software. So first step, download the software. Second step, unzip the software. And the third step, we are going to log into GoldenGate command line interface and then try to start up the try to create the subdirectories. Is that clear? Any questions? Okay, fine. Now let's so I'm on the GoldenGate home directory. I just give GGSCI. Okay. Now you are getting an error message that while loading the shared libraries could not open the shared object file, which means the LD library paths are not set. So there are two methods. We can set the set the Oracle environment variable, or we can just set the LD library path. So where which we prefer to have the entire environment variable to be set. So I'm just setting the environment variables. So Oracle home, Oracle now if you are giving echo dollar LD underscore library underscore path. You can see that it is pointing to your Oracle home / lib directory. Now let's start the GGSA once again. Now you can see the GoldenGate command line interface is working correctly, which gives you a sufficiently lot of information like which are the which version of the GoldenGate that you are working, whether it's a 64-bit or 32-bit versions. All these informations are available here. Now we have, if you wanted to get a help of GoldenGate, we can just type help. We will be able to get the output here. So you can see that there are different commands are there. Say here you must understand that how the help is being given. Here, as I discussed about the rack command line interface or rack help utility itself, there are a lot of commands are there. These lot of commands will be working on several objects. For example, create command will be working only on object called subdars. At the same time, kill command will be working on ER object. Like that, say if you're looking, there are different, but on the same time, there are several commands working on the ER objects. For example, lag, send, etc. will be working on the ER objects. That is extract, replicate. All these objects can take several commands and they will behave different way with respect to different commands. So the first command we are how to execute will be that create sub DARs. So you can see that all the directories has been created. So you can see that all the directories are currently created on /gg_home. And under that you have the DAR PRM, that is the parameter or configuration directory. DAR RPT, it is the report directory. Say when GoldenGate is running, you may take some periodic reports. These reports files will be created on the DAR RPT by default unless your exploit is specifying a different path. DAR checkpoint, I told you that what is the use of checkpoint files and how it is working. So the checkpoint files are being created on DAR CHK. And then when GoldenGate is working, there are several processes are involved. And if you want to know the status of the different process, then explicitly certain files are created. And these files are being created on DAR PCS folder. And then when coming to GoldenGate, coming with the certain other advanced type of replication like DDL replication, it creates certain SQLs, and these SQLs are being created on GoldenGate home directory under the GoldenGate home directory in the folder DAR SQL. And database definition files. Database definition files are used when explicitly when we are replicating between replicate between non-uniform databases. Say for example, your source is Oracle and your target is SQL Server. In that case, that data type may not be directly matching. So what you have to do that, you have to create a source definition file, that source database definition file, and utilize that source database definition file on the target. We'll be seeing that how to do that in the coming classes. So when you are creating the source database definition files, if you are not explicitly specifying another path, the files will be created on the DAR def folder. And you can see that another folder is DAR dat folder, which contains the extract files. Say I told you when the extract process is working, extract process is going to capture certain outputs and or It is going to read the redo log files and then write the contents to the trail files. And this trail files location is the dir.dat. And then certain temporary files and certain output files are created on the folders dir temp as well as dir out. Any questions here?
So we have only these directives, in GoldenGate.
Yeah, these are the directory structure of GoldenGate. In that one, most of the cases we will be working on dir PRM and dir.dat. Very rarely you will be working on say the folders like dir rpt extra, because it's not a regular activity like generating the report or checking the status of or generating the data definition languages or data definition files may not be a regular task, but parameter files is something that you will be regularly checking, as well as the dir.dat is something that you will be regularly checking.
And what about the SQL script?
SQL script, say normally it is all required for the required for during the time of the installation or configuration only. You got me? Say once you configured the replication, you normally don't even touch the dir parameter folders also. But what happens then, periodically, like based on the database performance, or maybe your clients may want to add more and more tables to replication, so you will be touching the parameter files. Otherwise, once the replication is done, you will not be touching more. Normally, you will be looking only on the dir dat folder only, and that also you will not be going directly and trying to manage by itself. You will be giving the commands for that GoldenGate to manage. That's all.
Okay.
What about the checkpoint file?
Checkpoint files is something that is used by Oracle internally, GoldenGate internally. For example, to find out up to what time the extract process is completed, up to what time the replicate process is completed. So it keeps that internal information. As a DBA or as a GoldenGate administrator, you don't have to do anything in that particular folder. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, say let's take a help. So the first process, as I told you, when it comes into the process architecture, I told you the manager is the master process. So manager is the one who manages all the child process. So once you are in a GoldenGate environment, to find out the status of all the process, like including manager and the different extract and the replicate process and the data pump process, if you wanted to get every information, you can just give info all. Okay. So info all, when it's saying that, it gives that manager process is stopped. You got me? Because there is no manager process running. Now, how to start the manager? We can just issue the command start manager. Okay. It gives a error message that a parameter file. It gives error message that error parameter file. Why should the grid home? GG, not grid home. GG underscore home. dir param mgr dot prm file does not exist, because manager mgr dot prm is the configuration file for the manager. Without that configuration files, manager process will not be able to start. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now our next step is that it is just similar like that only. If you wanted to start up an Oracle database instance, you need to have the parameter file, right? Without that instance, you will not be starting. The same way, for the manager process to be starting, a configuration file called manager parameter file should be there, and if it is not there, it will not be able to start. Now our next task will be that creating the manager parameter file. So it will be edit params mgr. Okay, you can see that when I issued the command edit params means edit parameter file for manager. That is the short form of that. Edit params mgr. When I am giving, you can see that output like /vices gg underscore home dir prm mgr dot prm file. Right?
What
now
is
I'm not
edit,
doing it.
Edit param mgr.
Edit. Yeah, I'll give you the syntax. Okay. Now for your this one, I'm not giving anything inside that file, but I'm just saving the file, which means I'm creating an empty parameter file.
Oh, edit parameter file. Okay. Edit parameter. Okay, I got it.
Fine. Now we'll see whether this file exists or not. Shell ls-l. You get see, shell is a command to execute the operating system commands. So what I did is that shell. Then I want to check whether the parameter file exists or not. You got me? So what I did is shell ls-l slash voices gg_home dir params.mgr.prm. It will give me an output that there is an empty file existing there. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's start the manager once again. Start manager. I can give start manager or I can just give start mgr. You get that mgr processes or manager process is started. Now if I'm giving info all, let's see what's out.
This
It says
is
that
empty para file.
yeah, correct.
So why how it's configured manager?
See, manager is configured with the basic default features. That is, the manager process running on a particular port number 7809. So manager, the GoldenGate manager needs to know on which port number it is running. Okay. So when you are creating an empty parameter file, the manager process will check whether the default default port number is available or not. You got me? So if the GoldenGate, the default port number is available, it will just start that default port number.
So it automatically detects that.
Yeah, say for example, Oracle listener, if you just issue the start listener, what happens in Oracle 11G or Oracle 10G? The listener will be starting, right?
Yes.
Because the listener default port number is 1521. So if that 1521 port number is available, it will just start that particular port number. Particular listener. The same way, if for the manager, whatever the port number is by default port number is that, if that port number is free, then it will just start the manager. Okay, but by any chance, if that particular port number is occupied, then you will not be able to start the manager with an empty file.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Just a sec. So the default port number of the manager process is 7809. Okay. So now, if you are looking, the GoldenGate process or the manager parameter file is totally empty. Now we'll see. We'll exit from here, and we'll see certain other information. Okay. Exit. Now we are in the GoldenGate home directory. Now ls-ltr. You can see that there is one file that is ggser.log file. Can you see that? This is the GoldenGate log file. Any information or any errors, it is like the alert log file in the case of Oracle database. Anything related with the GoldenGate process running, you will be getting the corresponding error, corresponding warning messages, information messages, everything will be there on the GoldenGate error log file. Now let's open this file. The location of the GoldenGate error log file will be your GoldenGate home directory. Okay. Now you can see that. You can see that it says that the start manager command is issued, and then edit params manager command was issued, and the start manager command issued, and the manager process is started on the port number 7809.
So this port is default in GoldenGate.
Yeah, this is the 7809 is the default port number for the manager. If you are not explicitly setting any port number, then this port number will be the default port number.
Okay.
Fine. Now we'll see how to change that also. Now I'll quit from here and again go back to GGSCI. Okay. Show all will tell me info, not show all info. Okay, it gives me that manager process running. I'll stop the manager. Stop MGR. You can see that from manager process required by other GoldenGate process. Are you sure to stop it? Yes. Info or manager process is stop. Now we'll issue the command edit params mgr. Okay. Now it's an empty file, but we'll change it. Port 7810. We are changing the port number.
Why will you change it?
No, just wanted to show you that how to change the port number. That's all. But there can be possibility, right? The 7809 before you installing the GoldenGate, it must have been used by some other processes or some other software running on your machine. So you may not be able to use the 7809.
Okay.
So if you are not able to use the default port number, this is the method. Start MGR. If I want to shell VI GGS ERR dot log. Now you can see that it says that stop manager command is issued, and it gives a message that command received from GGSA on the host version 11jar26 stop command. The manager is stopping as per the user request. Then edit params mgr start manager, and the manager is started on port number 7810.
Got it.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now we can get some additional commands, some few more commands about the manager. For example, say for manager process, if you are looking, the commands are info, send, start, and stop. We have learned about the start and stop. Now let's take what about info manager does. Info manager. Okay. So it gives you a clear message that say, earlier I told you how to get the port number by logging into the GoldenGate log file only. That's one method. Other method is that you can just issue the command info manager, and then you can get that all the required information that is manager is running on the machine version 11jar26 using the port number 7810. Is that clear?
Yes. But if you want to change the port number, we have to go VIA.
Yeah, you have to stop the manager.
Okay.
Go to the issue the command edit params mgr. There are different ways. Say one method is that you can just exit from here. I mean, you have to stop the manager. That is mandatory. No change about it. Go to dir prm directory, and you will be seeing that mgr.prm folder there or file there, and change the port number there.
Got it.
Okay, now help. Okay, so if you're looking, you got the info manager and the status manager, say status MGR. So these commands looks like the status MGR as well as info MGR looks similar as of now, but as and when we go with the more other components like in the extract, replicate, process all coming, then this output will be more meaningful. As of now, we are learning, or we learned about 3 to 4 commands, that is starting the manager, stopping the manager, getting the information about the manager. That's by giving the info manager or by giving status manager.
So you can write a manager or MGR.
Yes.
And for extract and all those things, there is nothing, any abbreviation, there is no abbreviation.
Yeah, it is coming. You can just give ER for extract and RP for replicate and all.
Oh, okay.
Now stop MGR. I'm stopping the manager. Now, GoldenGate also gives you an option of starting the manager process from the command line. Okay, how to do that is MGR. If you're looking here, ls-l MGR. You can see that MGR is an executable, which is nothing but the GoldenGate manager executable. You can just issue the command MGR, then param file dot .dar PRM / MGR dot PRM. Okay, you have to just give /. Okay, this command, this is the method of executing. This command I will be running on the command. Say now you can see that it gives the output that the manager process start at 7810. But for me, this command, what is that? This command line interface become useless because it is just blocked there. So there are multiple methods. One is that I can start with another terminal. Say. You can even put your own environment variables for GoldenGate home directory also. You can see that manager process is running. Okay, that's one method. The other method is that I can just issue the command. Say from here, I can issue the command stop MGR. Okay, and while running, say while running, I can just give the normal background job running, no hop, then run the manager and give the ampersand symbol. You can see that the manager process is running. I can just issue the command ggSCI info or the manager process is up and running. Is that clear? Any questions?
No.
So this gives you an answer that say, for example, suppose if you want to start up the manager process automatically, how to do that one. Say, for example, whenever your server is starting, or whenever after, like say you wanted to a shell script making sure that once the database is started, you wanted to start up your GoldenGate process. So what you have to do that, you have to just write a shell script. Inside that one, you will be checking the status of the database. If the status of the database is correct, then you can run the manager process, GoldenGate manager process from the command line, like using mgr param file, the exact path. Here I have given .drprm.mgr.prm because I am on the GoldenGate home directory. You got me? So this is a relative path. If you wanted to give the absolute path, you can give that absolute path again. And the manager process can be configured in such a way that once the manager process starts, it will be able to start up all the child process, like the extract process or the replicator process. It can start up automatically. So you don't have to explicitly start up your GoldenGate other process. You have to just start up the manager process. The rest of the things it will take care. Is that clear?
Yes.